All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you could come on in, that'd be great. Well, we're going to do an introduction here and get the event tonight started. Thank you.
It wasn't, the speaker's out in the lobby. Thank you, folks. If you want to keep coming into the room, please.
Check, check.
All right, everybody, we're going to get started in just a minute here. I see some more people coming in.
Check, check, check.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our open house this evening. My name is David Pyle. I work as the city's community development director. We are really excited to have you all here tonight. It's a great turnout, especially given the rain. So thank you all for coming out to talk to us, to learn about some future planning efforts the city is taking on and learn from some of our counterparts. I'll go ahead and turn it over to our mayor, Callie Clark. Kaylee, sorry, I always get that. She'll go ahead and give an introduction. So, Kaylee.
Yeah. All right, perfect. This is a great segue. All right, so I do have a couple speaking points for everyone. First, I just want to say thank you. This is a great turnout. Thanks to all that registered or didn't register. I did not, so I'm so glad you all are here. So this open house provides us an opportunity to engage with you all, really get some perspectives, some advice, some inquiries on what we're doing to help shape Sammamish's future. Your input, thank you. Your input will help us make informed decisions that reflect the aspirations of Sammamish in the future, what our community will look like. The Town Center Plan and Code Amendment Project is a vital initiative to our development regulations to align with our 2024 Comprehensive Plan update, which is a huge undertaking, a lot led by David and all of the city staff, really. So one of our primary goals is housing affordability and diverse housing options. We want to ensure that Sammamish remains a great place for us all to live, to stay, to have kids, to have the kids come back, to have our grandparents here. We really just want to make it a great place for the future. During the event, I encourage you to walk around to all the booths. We have a lot of great people here, a lot of knowledge, a lot of good information. We have our developers, our staff, our advocates, and I really encourage you all to ask them anything. We have a lot of city council here. Can city council raise their hand? The rest of us? 1, 2, 3. There's a few of us. So please come chat to us as well. Always available. And the exhibits that we have in the booths really give a glimpse into the possibilities and highlight, again, what I said Sammamish is going to be like in the future. So thank you for your ongoing commitment to our city. I see a lot of you coming to our Tuesday meetings, or at least, making public comment. It's really good to see some faces I've never seen before. And together, we're really going to forge those innovative solutions for what Sammamish is going to be in the future to be more inclusive and more sustainable. So thank you all.
Thank you, Kaylee. So with that, we're going to, we have a few things planned this evening. The first is we have an introductory video, and we've done a really careful job of preparing the video to give you as much information as we can. It'll be posted to the city's website following this event, so you can go back and watch it again. And also down the line, if you want to revisit it over time, it's there for you. So after that, what we'll do is we'll turn it over to some question and answer. where we'll have opportunity to receive questions from the community and do our best to answer them or come back with an answer at a later date if we don't know how to answer it in the moment. Oftentimes we have some pretty complex questions that we need to research and take a little time to find the right answer to. And then we'll turn it over to a walk and learn, where we'll be able to walk around in the lobby here and in the room here and learn from some of our counterparts. I want to again stress that we're extremely thankful and grateful to have some members of our community, our building community, some not-for-profits here that are taking time out of their day. They're not paid to be here. They're doing this all on their own out of the kindness of their hearts to be here tonight on a rainy night to help us learn about what could be in the city. So do take some time to walk around and ask them some questions, and make sure to thank them as well for their participation and their help tonight. So turn it over to Kelly for the video.
Welcome to the open house for the Town Center Plan and Development Code Amendment Project. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight, and we are thrilled to have this opportunity to provide you with an overview of the project, as well as its importance in helping the city fulfill its commitment to building more diverse and affordable housing. We'll begin the open house with a brief presentation providing an overview of the project. Following the presentation, there will be an opportunity for questions before we move into the walk and learn session. This portion of the evening is designed for you to interact directly with our team of experts and explore real-world examples of walkable mixed-use developments that blend affordability with innovation, drawing on insights from developers, affordable housing advocates, and city staff. If you haven't already done so, please make sure to grab the Open House Scavenger Hunt brochure, which once completed can be turned in at the welcome table for a chance to win a $50 gift card to Met Market. We hope that by the end of tonight, you'll have a good understanding of the benefits this work will have on the town center, along with the knowledge of how to stay engaged and informed as it progresses. The Sammamish Town Center, situated in the heart of the city, offers a unique and inviting environment where residents can live, work, learn, create, and play. As a vibrant mixed-use hub, the town center is planned for various housing types, specialty retail and dining options, entertainment, professional services, pedestrian and transit connections, civic and community services, and parks, trails, and open spaces. The planning effort to develop the town center all began in 2003, when the City Council adopted the initial vision of the town center as part of the city's comprehensive plan update. In 2004, the city started the planning process for the town center by establishing a 20-member citizen task force to help guide and advise the City Council as it developed a vision for the subarea. In 2006, the City Council adopted a resolution that established a town center vision statement, which calls for a town center that balances both urban and natural characteristics and creates a vibrant sense of place. The resolution also supported a continued public participation process by appointing 9 members to the Sammamish Town Center Committee to help advise staff and consultants as they moved forward with developing the town center plan. With public input, an analysis of market conditions, infrastructure needs, and design options, staff and the consultants were able to develop 4 town center alternatives. The alternatives included a range of development intensities and reflected different land use options. They were then refined and approved by City Council for evaluation in the draft environmental impact statement. The environmental analysis and public input were considered by the Town Center Committee, Planning Commission, and City Council as they developed the preferred town center alternative. In 2007, the City Council adopted the preferred town center alternative, which called for a balance of civic and community amenities, retail and office opportunities, residential choices, and environmental functions. The City Council also directed the planning team to move forward with drafting the Sammamish Town Center Plan. In 2008, the draft plan underwent a comprehensive review by the Planning Commission, which subsequently presented its recommendations to the City Council. The Council then made amendments to the plan and formally adopted it within the same year. To implement the Town Center Plan, the City Council also adopted development regulations for the sub-area in 2010 and 2011. Since the adoption of the Town Center Plan and development regulations, there has been significant development and development review activity. Starting in 2014, with the Unified Zone Development Plan, our UZDP applications submitted for the Sammamish Community and Aquatic Center and Southeast Village Townhomes project. This was followed by UZDP submittals for Sammamish Village and Sam Apartments in 2015. And a building permit for Sky Apartments in 2017. In 2019, STCA submitted a preliminary subdivision application for the Brownstones West project and a UZDP application for the STC Phase 1 project. 2020 marked the completion of the city's second major infrastructure project in the town center, the Southeast 4th Street Improvement Project. Aegis of Sammamish submitted a commercial site development permit for a senior care facility in 2022. This was followed by the Lake Washington School District submitting a UZDP for a new school project in early 2023. And just this month, STCA submitted a UZDP application for the STC Phase 2 project. In addition, our staff have received numerous feasibility level inquiries, including requests for project guidance, pre-development services, and pre-application meetings for multiple properties within the town center. As we mark 15 years since the adoption of the Town Center Plan and 13 years since its development regulations came into effect, it's clear that a comprehensive review and update is needed. This effort is important for more than just meeting the immediate demands of development. It's about strategically preparing for future growth in line with the state code and regional and county planning policies that shape the city's comprehensive plan. These frameworks guarantee that we're not just responding to today's needs, but are also strategically prepared for future challenges and opportunities. Sammamish's growth and development are guided by state legal codes and the Growth Management Act, our GMA. In advance of planning efforts, the Office of Financial Management, our OFM, provides population projections for Washington counties so that they can effectively plan for expected growth. In metropolitan areas like Puget Sound, the Puget Sound Regional Council, our PSRC, serves as a central coordinator for growth planning. Representatives from Snohomish, Kitsap, King, and Pierce counties, as well as tribes, cities, transit agencies, and port districts work together to set regional growth targets and then allocate growth to their respective counties. This collaborative effort is captured in Vision 2050, which outlines multi-county planning policies, actions, and a regional growth strategy to direct the region's development up to the year 2050. Finally, counties work with their constituent cities following the regional growth strategy set by PSRC to allocate jobs and housing across different geography groups. These growth targets are formalized in the King County-wide planning policies. Each city must then plan for its assigned growth within its urban growth area and municipal boundary. As a result of this regional and county planning effort, the city has been issued a 2044 growth target of 2,100 housing units and 728 jobs. This update cycle stands out due to recent significant amendments to the GMA, Vision 2050, and countywide planning policies that introduce measures to tackle the shortage of affordable housing. Addressing the affordable housing deficit is a key priority. The city is required to demonstrate with its comprehensive plan update that it has capacity to support housing across all income levels as shown here. The zoning capacity that supports affordable housing types, such as mid-rise apartments, must be sufficient to accommodate the need. Providing affordable housing is crucial for fostering economically stable, diverse, and inclusive communities, ensuring that the city's workforce has access to housing close to their places of employment. This proximity not only reduces commute times, but also enhances work-life balance, leading to higher job satisfaction and productivity. Such a strategic approach to housing contributes significantly to the overall economic health of the city by boosting local businesses, improving employee retention, and fostering a vibrant, engaged community. The Comprehensive Plan Update strategically distributes planned affordable housing across the town center, mixed-use centers, and public or religious-owned bonus parcels, ensuring a balanced approach to meeting the city's affordable housing goals. While the town center is emphasized as a key focus area, it's important to note that not all of the 2,100 planned units are allocated there. This strategy not only targets specific areas for development, but also prevents the concentration of affordable housing in a single location, promoting equitable growth and sustainable community development across the city. We know this to be true because over the last 13 years, the town center has generated affordable housing. Through its inclusionary zoning code, both existing and planned developments within the town center have successfully resulted in 138 affordable housing units. The Town Center Plan and Code Amendment project focuses on several key areas for evaluation and amendments, including affordable housing and housing choice, housing incentives, businesses and services, development standards, transportation and infrastructure, and implementation. It should be noted that this work does not include an increase in allocated R by right density in the town center. Any increase in development capacity considered is connected only to an increase in diverse and affordable housing unit production. To ensure key issues and priorities are addressed, the project team will complete an audit of the town center related documents to identify issues or gaps that need to be addressed in concert with proposed amendments to the town center plan and associated development regulations. Additionally, the project team will prepare a supplemental environmental impact statement, or SEIS, that complies with the state SEPA requirements, supplementing the original EIS from 2007. The SEIS will consider the potential impacts of examining the feasibility of accommodating up to 4,000 residential units and 600,000 square feet of commercial space. It will assess the public benefits, including increasing the diversity and supply of affordable housing, and provide measures to mitigate potential impacts. Amendments to the Town Center Plan will recalibrate the original plan with updates to the existing conditions since it was updated in 2008, account for current development proposals, and adjust the infrastructure and transportation planning accordingly. Amendments to the development regulations will provide for relevant changes in the previously adopted ordinances. These will address updates in land use and housing and adjust the review and approval processes, including a planned action ordinance, which will eliminate project-level SEPA review for most development proposals within the subarea in accordance with SEPA statutes. Finally, the Town Center Development Regulations will be amended to better align with community goals for the Town Center and help ensure positive outcomes and the delivery of diverse and affordable housing. This project will progress through 4 phases within the coming year, targeting a completion date of December 31st, 2024. The project will also be shaped and influenced by recently adopted plans or policy work currently under development. This work includes the 2024 Comprehensive Plan Update, the Housing Diversification Toolkit, which was adopted in 2023, the Transfer of Development Rights Program Update, the Transportation Master Plan, the Transit Plan, the Climate Action Plan, also adopted in 2023, and the Critical Areas Ordinance Update. As the project continues to progress, updates will be provided to the City Council and Planning Commission, with the next briefing planned for the City Council on Tuesday, March 5th. We encourage you to attend and to offer your feedback through public comment. Additionally, to remain informed and engaged, please visit the project website. Here you can subscribe to project updates, submit questions or comments, find information on upcoming meetings, and explore answers to frequently asked questions. This marks the end of our presentation. Please stick around for a short Q&A session, or if you like, begin engaging with our development partners, affordable housing advocates, and city staff who have joined us this evening. Engaging with these representatives offers a unique opportunity to explore practical examples of walkable mixed-use developments that cleverly integrate affordability and innovation. Lastly, we look forward to hearing your thoughts on tonight's event. For those who've pre-registered, a survey will be sent to your email. The survey is also available to complete and can be found at the feedback table near the front entrance. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the open house.
Thank you, Kelly, for putting together that video. Well done. We wanted to go ahead and provide an opportunity for some questions, and we'll try to provide answers where possible. So I see one hand up here to start with, and we have a microphone, and we're going to try and get you on the microphone so everyone can hear. Thank you.
Could you please quantify affordable housing relative to income threshold and what a projected housing fee would be for that income family?
So we did just provide a couple weeks ago the Planning Commission exactly that. I don't have that in my head, but we would be happy to post that document to the city's website as a follow-up to this meeting. I'm also happy to go find a copy of it for you and print it out before you leave today. It's on my desktop on my computer. I just need to print it.
And actually, David, I think we have a copy over at the project information table. So, of that spreadsheet. Yep. So, Chris, do you want to stand up and raise your hand? For those who are interested in that information, we do have it at the desk.
Even better.
I believe the STCA group has the majority of the parcels within the Sammamish Town Center. They have about 90, and then they have all the transferred building credits. Will additional building credits that can be transferred be included as part of this process, or is that not an option?
Yeah, I can answer that. Our Transfer of Development Rights program, as shown in the video, is slated for an update, and that work will happen at the same time that we're doing the Town Center Plan update and the Comp Plan update. So at this time, we don't know how many more units will be added, but we are working on that. We are also currently working with King County on updating our ILL with them. They are also part of that Transfer of Development Rights program. So more work to come on that.
I could add one thing to that. Is there are two distinctive programs. One is the King County Transfer Development Rights Program, whereby we partner with King County to acquire land in what's called the Emerald Necklace, which surrounds the city to the east. We acquire land with King County, and then there is a return back to the city on that investment and financially to help fund amenities in the town center. There's also then a return back to developers who purchase the credits and the ability to multiply the credits for the construction of housing in the city. There's a separate program that the city has on the books which is an internal transfer development rights program. It's not one that we've used. We're working on it. You're going to hear more about this in working with the Planning Commission and City Council in upcoming months, whereby we would be able to identify lands in the city that are sensitive or that offer features that we see value in protecting or preserving, and we would offer an alternative to developing those lands, an alternative economic use of the property, if you will, where you could put the land in conservation and then move the transfer or transfer the development right to an area that is more appropriate to develop in. So that's another program that we're going to be working on. That one is not as mature as the King County program that is currently in use. So we're looking at how to use both of those programs going forward as a city to achieve our goals and objectives.
And I'll just add one more thing. We will be in front of Planning Commission on March 12th with a presentation and an update on that project for those who are interested in tuning in or attending the meeting in person.
It's going to be nice to see new businesses and new activities brought into Sammamish. However, given our experience with parking, particularly of the YMCA down here and our parking lot in front, what provisions have been made to get the cars out of sight and to make walking better, not using cars all the time, but still knowing that they come?
Sure. That is something we are definitely looking at as part of this project update. So I don't have an answer right now. I do know in our current town center code for certain types of housing development or commercial development, there is a parking requirement as appropriate. But that is definitely a conversation that we'll be having and looking into that as part of this work. So more to come.
I'd also suggest stopping by Innovation Realty's table and talking with them. They're the predominant landholder in the town center. They're also very interested in successful commercial space and likely share the same question and interest. And maybe perhaps stop by their table and talk with them about their plans for how they plan to serve the commercial space with parking.
And additionally, we have the Chamber of Commerce here. So if there is type of commercial space you're interested in, I would check in with the Chamber of Commerce or sign up for their membership. So there's a plug for them. Joy, thank you.
Thank you. I have two quick questions. How many acres are you thinking will be planned? It said 240. I've also heard 120. My second question is, I know a lot of us moved here for the trees, and there's very beautiful trees everywhere along this whole area, and personally it makes me really sad to think of many of them being clear cut. What is the tree ordinance that will be followed, and can we hope that there won't be variances where developers get to maybe not follow the Sammamish tree ordinances? Thank you.
I have a feeling this is going to be a theme to all the questions tonight, but that is something we'll be looking at as well as part of this project work, and what considerations need to be looked at. So more to come on that as well. Oh, acreage. So yes, there's 240 acres in the town center. We do have critical areas, so that takes away from the area that can be developed, but I don't have the exact answer of developable area. I can follow up on that question.
I also want to add, on the topic of trees, it's a big topic, and we will be taking on an update, or at least I hope we'll be taking on an update to our tree rules coming in 2025. There are some big challenges ahead for us, specifically with regard to the health of the urban forest. We're seeing many more reports from arborists and on laminate root rot, on blight, on the effect of some of the extreme heat periods we're having on trees. And it may not be that all of the trees that we cherish are the best trees for this environment. I may be a heretic in saying that, but I want to make sure that everyone's aware that we've got a big challenge with managing our trees ahead of us. We're not running away from it. We're not promoting cutting them down, but we really want to make sure we're all aware of some of the challenges going forward.
Thank you, Kelly. Given the emphasis on affordable housing, what mechanisms are being worked on to retain the affordability? as time goes on, and that we don't fall victim to market dynamics.
I can answer that one. So the city, fortunately, the city is a founding member of ARCH, and one of the benefits of being a member of the ARCH is a regional coalition for housing that includes many of our neighbors in East Side cities. We have, basically they serve as an extension of city staff. One of the main, I want to say, work plan items that they have is to track affordable housing covenants. So when a new unit is brought online and designated as affordable within a certain range, they do track those over time. They do monitor all the tenants for each of the units. They ask for, income updates, tax records, et cetera, to verify that someone qualifies for those units. And those covenants do run with whatever prescribed period is assigned at the point of the development. Some of them do expire over time. Some of them run with it for the life of the development.
That would be 50 years. So that is codified in our town center code. So those affordable units need to stay affordable for 50 years.
I don't see a transit center as part of this project. I'm wondering, given all these additional population, what efforts the city is making to create a transit center at some location in the city?
Great question for our city manager.
Thank you for the question, Nancy. Sure. My name is Scott McCall. I'm city manager here. And so we are working on our transit plan. Part of our transit plan is identifying where those will go. We're working with our town center partners on identifying the right location for a transit center. You're not seeing it in the plan because it hasn't been clearly identified where the location is, but it's definitely something that is a must. And we also, to get at the parking piece and the accessibility piece, we need to make sure that transit serves town center well so that people can get in and out, and potentially you don't have to drive your car. You could take another means to get there. So it's an important, critical piece moving forward, but there's a lot of pieces still to be sorted out with the plan itself, and that's a partnership with the property owners to find the right location for that.
I realize this meeting is basically towards the sub area, but relative to affordable housing, will there be spillover into the residential areas by implementing the state mandates relative to DADUs? And will they ultimately be rentable in contradistinction to the current mandate of the city of Sammamish that they only be for household use, family members?
Yes, so great points. The city is seeing a big shift in direction from the state, from the Puget Sound Regional Council, the Regional Planning Authority, and also King County. We are looking at a requirement that the city allows accessory dwelling units even to be condominiumized and sold. So that is a huge shift in state law. We also are looking at every lot in the city being allowed to have 2 units on it. That's a mandate. Basically, the way to think about it is that we are no longer looking at single-family detached residential units. The state has spoken that basically that is a thing of the past, and going forward, we are looking at residential units, but the word detached is no longer something that we can include as a mandate in zoning. Something else to consider is that in neighborhoods where you have homeowners associations and community covenants, if your homeowners association community covenant says that you cannot have anything other than single family homes, or does not allow further division, or does not allow for an accessory dwelling unit, then that is the restriction that you must abide by. Given that we estimate approximately 80% of Sammamish is covered by homeowners associations and restrictive covenants, that only leaves about 20% of the city. About another 10% of the city that's left is in critical areas, wetlands, streams, or slopes. So that leaves about another 10% of the city where that could actually apply. So it is, compared to other cities, very minimal. That has to do with the generation of housing and the era of housing in the city. Older housing, which predates the subdivision law in the state of Washington, does not have that type of homeowners association or restrictive covenant. So cities that are older generally are going to see that be applied much more broadly across their city.
Okay, a question. I understand affordable housing and the AMIs. What I don't see is what happens to the people who are looking for housing that's affordable, the under $1 million houses, the 500 and up. Has there been a current needs assessment for this? What's going on?
So there was work done on the type of housing that is needed in the city, not a quantitative assessment of need, as we don't believe that is fundamentally possible to truly identify what the need is, as conditions are constantly changing. There are so many variables that could go into that. We've had some great conversations with community member Paul Stickney about that. He's a big advocate of that. And we've had some great ideas about how you could possibly do that. We've asked for a methodology. We haven't seen one. So we do agree that it's a great idea to get an understanding of what that need might be. More broadly, we're trying to simply open up our zoning controls to allow for it if a builder wanted to build it or a property owner wanted to build it, that the market could then deliver it. So we don't build the housing in the city, just to be sure. It's built by market builders or by commercial builders. And what happens there is that if there is no market demand for it, they're not going to build it. If it's not profitable, they're not going to build it. And that's a challenge for us. So what we're instead looking at is we've invited them tonight to meet with us to talk about it. And we're hoping to gain an understanding of some of the challenges they face so that we can then in turn adapt our codes so that those types of housing units are built in the city. We would also like to look at zoning that accommodates that. So it is a big one for us. We've heard that loud and clear from the community, and that's one of the reasons why, in addition to the town center code amendments, we're having this open house tonight.
Yeah, so I would encourage you all, if you registered, you'll get the email with the survey, to please tell us the type of housing that would be ideal to bring into the city that we're not seeing, like cottage housing or townhomes or duplexes. That's the type of feedback we want to hear, especially when it comes to the town center project update. Because we will be looking at housing types as part of this work. So yes, part of it is the affordable piece, but the other part is the diversity of housing. I think it's not a big surprise. We all know there's a lot of single family here in Sammamish. So how do we diversify that? And what we want to know from you is, what would you like to see?
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm in information overload. There seems to be so much work that is planning to be done by the end of this year. And the city manager just said that there's so many challenges that haven't been addressed yet. Is that correct? Am I right? So, no?
Slightly different.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well, anyway, it seems, how many city planners are working on this with the developers? And how is this all going to be pulled together in 1 year is my question.
I'll take a run at it, and then you can correct me when I go astray. I think the short version is, to answer your question, there is a lot of planning going on, and we try to be out in the community and hold lots of different opportunities to weigh on a lot of these pieces. We have a requirement from the state to update what's called our comprehensive plan. That's our entire sort of vision for the city, and we've been working through that and going through the different components. The work on housing diversification was part of that work. The work on the transit plan is part of that work. Those decision points still come before council about how we're going to map out our vision for the next 20 years and what needs to happen, what the community thinks needs to happen. And that happens through council taking action. So there is a lot of planning going on. To answer your question more directly, what I was referring to is there's a lot of components of the town center plan that are not set in stone. They are partnerships with the actual town center property owners about some of the components that go in there. So some of those things, that when I said they haven't been decided, it's we're still working on what the right mix is and working with property owners to say, how do we make this a great product. So, but I appreciate the question.
And I'll just add to that. Could I have our planning staff, our consultant staff here tonight? So Rose, Jackie, Miriam, Chris, Darcy, could you all come up here? I know I'm probably missing some folks. Yes, make yourselves known. I'd like you to introduce you all to our staff team. Miriam. Miriam. Oh, she's out front. Okay. Who else did I miss? Because I know I've missed someone. Yes, Darcy, please come up here. Evan, come up here. You do not hide. Anyone else? Okay. This is your staff team right here. And thank you, Miriam. And this is the group that is helping us get through all of this work. One thing that this staff team and as leadership has directed to all of us is that we need to coordinate all of these plans. So yes, it's a heavy lift, but as we are going through this work, as we're presenting it to our Planning Commission and our City Council, you are going to hear us making quite a bit of references to the Climate Action Plan, or the Housing Diversification Toolkit, or the TDR program update. This ensures that we are not missing something and that we are thinking of this work on a bigger scale and that we are doing that coordination. So a big round of applause to this team because they're amazing.
So I understand that Sammamish has some of the largest percentages of families with children in King County. And our daughter is in the high school, Eastlake, and says that the schools are they're just packed. So bringing in more families, we're wondering how the heck are the schools going to be able to absorb more children? So are you considering school capacity as you're planning all these additional members to our community?
Yeah, that's a great topic that we hear a lot about and we talk a lot about here at the city, and also talk a lot about with our 3 school districts. We do meet routinely with them and talk through plans and development that whenever we get an application for development, when somebody has an idea for development, they come in the door for what we call project guidance. We do notify the school districts. They are made aware that there could be a project in the pipeline. Generally speaking, development takes time. Building schools takes more time. We do know that. It's really interesting also if you have a chance, and it's a really riveting read, so I wouldn't, is to go to the school district's websites and find their capital facilities plans. And within their capital facilities plans, their demographers have charted and forecasted the enrollment in the next 10 years. And in that time period, you see a significant drop in numbers of students. Not all districts are the same. Lake Washington is the biggest, and it's a really interesting scenario where they're trying to build brick and mortar for a stable school population, but the enrollment numbers go up and down, and they're constantly moving things around to provide school facilities. I know in my district, they're closing schools right now. So it's an interesting challenge. We do coordinate with them regularly. That is a big part of this. Part of the supplemental EIS for Town Center is engaging with the school districts and studying school capacities. Another part of the comprehensive plan, which is one of those other projects that was listed, is routinely engaging with the districts in addition to all the other providers in the city, whether it's PSC or whether it's the water and sewer districts. We're routinely working with them to make sure they are aware of the different planning scenarios we're considering and ultimately what's adopted.
Hi, with all the housing numbers and the questions that people have, is there any data or even a guesstimate for how many of the units would be to own or to lease or to rent, break out that way, or condominiums?
We can definitely get you those numbers on what's built today, but projecting what would be built, that I'm not sure we can provide those numbers because that's dependent on the market and the developer.
Thank you. This is a completely different question. We have seen the maps, we've seen the numbers, we've seen the drawings, but what is it going to look like? Is it going to be something like somewhere else in our area that we can compare it to? I was just in Totem Lake, the new area. I was shocked about the development there. What is this going to look like? Do you have any example in the area?
Well, I could give you slivers of what it's going to look like because we have our development community here today, and they have provided some concept drawings for you. Now, overall, how will the town center look completely built out? There are some very dated sketches in our town center plan. We do plan on updating those as part of this update. So that is to come. And that would be, again, very conceptual to give you an idea of what that would look like at total build out.
And that might actually be a good segue to moving to the tables as
Oh,
it's
that's a great idea.
7 o'clock. That's not to say that, you know, if I'm here and if anyone wants to follow up with some questions or wants to reach out after this in the weeks to come, you know, feel free to reach out. My name is David Pyle, dpyle@sammamish.us, pretty easy email address. Feel free to reach out to me and I'd be happy to, you know, have a follow-up conversation. So thank you.
Additionally, my name is Kelly Hildy. I am the Deputy Director of Community Development, and I am leading this project update. So you're more than welcome to reach out to me. You can also submit questions at the information table, which is just right here, or online, whatever you prefer. But yes, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are here to answer your questions and to keep you appraised of this work as it continues forward over the next year. So thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Really appreciate it.